to pretend that I just woke up.
Okay.
Good morning, my little Pop-Tarts. I wake up around 5:30 to feed Missy Moo, the cat. She starts pawing at my legs, pawing at my bum, pawing at my toes until I get up to feed her. And I am as big as a house these days, so it takes me a lot longer to move. But I like to air out the apartment, open up the windows, open up the blinds. We do have a north-facing apartment, so we don't get much sun, but the windows are big enough so it lights up throughout the day. And I always have a starter breakfast before my main breakfast. So what I have is 2 dark chocolate rice cakes with peanut butter in between, and I make me and Jason a coffee. We just got new Nespresso pods. Very fancy, very snazzy. My dad actually got us that Nespresso machine as a moving in gift, but I went to Nespresso for the first time the other day. I just felt like I belonged there. But I have a decaf pod now every morning because I'm trying to stay off caffeine because it just makes me anxious, and you're not really supposed to have caffeine anyway when you're pregnant, so I've been off it recently. And I thought today our sheets are quite boring. I wanted to have more of our personality in the apartment. When you're making a place a home, you add all these random things and you don't want to rush and buy loads of random eclectic things, especially with your space so small. So little things that you can do, and how I like to add my own pizzazz to the place is through textiles. So I always get dye-on sheets, and I got a pink one and I got a brown one. So the ones that I took off, I put brown dye on them, and I dyed new sheets pink. So yeah. So for my beauty routine, this obviously I don't do every single morning. A lot of mornings look different for me because I can choose my own hours and self-employed, so I don't have a strict regimented routine. So some mornings look like this and other mornings look different, so I can do like a workday morning routine too. Before I have a shower, I like to drench myself in coconut oil, and I've talked about it before in a TikTok, but when you're pregnant and when just before you're about to give birth, you aren't supposed to have really any sort of scented things on you, so no like scented lotions or perfumes or anything. And I haven't gone fully scent free, but coconut oil is a good way to moisturize your body, moisturize your hair without having like a really strong scent. It's like an all natural products. And I just got this new china set from a charity shop. It's so cute. And I use one of the bowls for a soap dish too. So I drench myself in coconut oil, leave that on for about an hour while I'm like journaling and writing my to-do list, writing my letters. I write a letter to my unborn child, Bambi, every morning. And sometimes I'll write Jason a letter, or I'll just like write down my feelings in a journal. I'm letting the oil soak in right down to my bones so that I am lovely glowing from the inside out. When I've done that for about 45 minutes to an hour, I'll hop in the shower and do my extensive routine. Now I don't shave anywhere, so I don't really have a shaving routine, but I like to look I do like to look after my hair. I like to scrub off the dry dead skin from my tanning because I do tan very well. Nice to have a fresh base of skin, moisturized. I want this baby to slip and slide out of my vagina. So I always make sure that I'm oiled up and ready to go. I only have 2 stretch marks that I can see so far, so it's working out. Now for the main course. The best part of the morning is hanging out with the people you love. Because I'm so large and in charge right now, it has inhibited my movements a little bit. So my sisters are now coming out to visit me every day, which I really appreciate. Like just hanging out, not even doing anything. We're not doing anything special, but literally just spending time with me, which is all I could ask for. That's really what I want to do. But this morning I did want to leave the house, so we went, and luckily I live in town so I don't have to do much travelling, but we went record shopping for my dad in Freebird, which is his favourite record shop, and I just kind of picked 2 jazz or soul and funk records for him because that's the kind of music he listens to. Then I felt like treating myself. So we went to Hodges Figgis to pick out a few books. Sometimes I like to just browse instead of writing down a list or something that I've seen on TikTok. I just picked books that I thought looked nice for myself and that I'd like personally, rather than going off anyone else's recommendations. And they always turn out to be the best books. So I really recommend people doing that instead of taking other people's recommendations. So I started reading Daddy by Emma Cline. I love Emma Cline. I read The Girls before by her, and I'm really enjoying Daddy at the moment. It was a lovely sunny morning as well, so I tanned with my top off. I did unfortunately get catcalled by 2 grown men I am 8 months pregnant, so I still have it. But I thought they were having a friendly conversation with us, being like, oh, getting the tanning in, girls. But then it ended with like, oh, you might as well take your bra off. So that put a bit of a dampener on the morning. But other than that, I had a great time. And there was a man feeding the swans. It was beautiful, idyllic. And this is kind of the closest I can get to nature while living in town. It's just like going to the local park. We had our toes in the grass. And I was treating myself again. And I thought, I'm going to get myself some flowers, because the flowers that we had in the house were dying. I made a little arrangement for myself, and I really like them, and they smell so nice, because my sense of smell is really heightened at the moment. So I'm really happy that I got them. Dear Bambi, the sun is splitting the stones and it's hard to handle the heat. Saoirse's in the sitting room wearing a blue polo and dungarees, waiting for me to finish writing to you so we can go to the park and lay in the sun. My sisters, your soon-to-be aunties, are the light of my life. Every day I'm in awe of how beautiful, strong, intelligent, funny, creative and caring they are. It's been a joy to watch them grow up and hope that I had some part or influence in how they turned out. For a large part of my childhood, when I didn't have close friendships, I never felt lonely, as they were my best friends. From tiny tots, they were viewed as one and the same, Irish twins just 17 months apart, and still referred to as the girls. Toddlers with matching bowl cuts, bandanas and snotty noses to boot. The two grew a bond, both admirable and impenetrable. I can remember brushing and braiding their hair, which made me feel at my most maternal, watching for knots, running the brush gently along their scalp and holding the ends to run out the tangles. A firm hold on the twist, but not too tight that it hurts. And one day soon I'll be asking you, 1 or 2,